My optometrist is a great guy. He's been in the community for a long time, and he's labored with me through the eagle eyes of my youth to my fast fading retreat to nearsightedness. When I speak in the sanctuary, if I don't have my glasses, I can't see the faces of the people in the balcony. My optometrist has some pretty cool equipment. He can take a picture of my retina with this computer thing and take a three-dimensional image of my eye. It's phenomenal to watch. Yet he always pushes away the fancy gear and pulls the old faithful machine to my eyes. The machine you've seen is basically a set of movable lenses at which he puts it in front of my face and says, better, worse, and then flicks to another lens, better, worse. Finally, after a few moments and many flicks of his lenses, he has the prescription figured out for my glasses. Better gives way to best, and then he has it. Better, worse. Through what lens are you viewing the world? Or better yet, what is your worldview? Better or worse? We are challenged to see the world through a scientific worldview. That which is reasonable is real, and that which of faith or of the supernatural is not scientific, and therefore it's dismissed. We see science and reason, and then faith is viewed somewhat dimly. Better or worse? Do you primarily view your life through an economic lens? If so, then the ongoing purpose of your life is to keep finding a deal. People, relationships are viewed as transactions. Friends are viewed as potential clients. The value of life is found in the accumulation of money, property, and stuff. That worldview leaves an individual wanting, tired, and depressed. Someone always wants more. Someone always has more. Isn't always better. Better, worse. Better or worse. Do you view life through the lens of politics? In our two-party system, one party wins means another party loses. The new religion of our country and parts of the world is politics. People attach to their candidates with a certain amount of faith, and their particular ideology becomes the theology, and there's so much passion around the politics that it informs their faith rather than faith informing their politics. Not only is that a recipe for a disappointing life, but it's idolatry. As a pastor, our community challenges me on this weekly at a minimum. Pastor, you prayed for President Obama. What's your problem? Pastor, you didn't pray for President Trump. You're not a faithful Christian. Pastor, you didn't tell us how to vote. You're not using your pulpit to transform America. You know, Pastor, when you get down to it, Jesus was really a socialist or a communist. Better, worse. Hear me on this. If the primary lens through which you view the world is a political lens, a lens of race, gender, or any other lens, you'll always be disappointed. You'll never be satisfied. You'll always be wanting something more. Jesus and faith in Him for Christians should be the primary lens through which we see ourselves, other people, and the world. The lens of faith in Jesus Christ brings into clear focus the answer to the question, who am I? Through this lens, we go back to the book of Genesis and we see that we are all created in the image of God. And when God looked at all He made, humanity included, He said, this is very good. We are created in the image of God. We have intellect, emotion, relational connection, the capacity to love and to be loved, and so much more that is the reflection of the Almighty in us. God has made us beautiful. When humanity fell into sin, God again intervened in His Son Jesus and restored His image in us. So we look at ourselves as the best of the created world and the best of what God has renewed in Himself. That worldview says you are a child of God and that it all starts there. Better, worse, life gains focus. The lens of faith in Jesus Christ brings clear focus to the question, then, what do I do and how do I connect to others? We are relational people. God is a relational God. A Christian worldview means that we view others through a lens of God's grace. Politics divide us into red and blue. Economics divide us by rich and poor. So much sociology divides humanity into groups, and then the groups play against one another. But faith in Jesus Christ calls us to look at others as we look at ourselves. Each person, regardless of how they got here, is a unique creation of God and redeemed in Jesus Christ. Each person, regardless of their sociology, is redeemed in Christ. Paul writes, so we are all one in Jesus in these words. So in Christ Jesus, you are all children of God through faith. For all of you who are baptized into Christ have clothed yourselves with Christ. There is neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, nor is there male or female, for you are all one in Christ. If you belong to Christ, then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. Better, worse, better, worse. What do you see? And what is clear for you? The basic human person is socialized into a worldview. The basic Christian is baptized into Christ. As you look at yourself, as you look at others, as you look at economics, politics, race, or gender, look first through the lens of faith in Jesus Christ. That worldview will deliver two things for you. First, it will deliver a unifying, integrated way to look at other people. We as Christians have more in common through faith in Jesus Christ than anything that would divide us. Second, there's a peace that comes in looking at self and others through the lens of grace. Paul speaks of it as a peace that passes all understanding. Maybe we all need a little of that peace. Better, worse, worse, better, better, worse. The prescription for Christians is a lens that helps us make sense of the world and allows us peace that somehow will escape the world. Jesus says, I do not give to you as the world gives. He said, do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. If you look through the lens of the cross at yourself and other people, and you view yourself and others with a sense of grace rather than judgment, you'll see better, you'll see clearer. Better, better, best.